I'm J.R. Church. Welcome to today's analysis of the news. Today is Labor Day. And in a few days, about 10 more days, on the 18th of September, the Jewish calendar will click over to a new year, 5770. It's Rosh Hashanah, the new moon of September. And even though next year in our calendar doesn't come until January 1st, the Jewish calendar moves on. Now, I cannot tell you that Psalm 110 will be fulfilled in the year 2010 or in the Jewish calendar year 5770, but hey, it would certainly be a wonderful thing if it was, wouldn't it? I want to just briefly go through Psalm 110 for just a few moments to remind you that when the Jewish New Year begins in about 10 days, whatever is going to be fulfilled in the next year is on go. In other words, the Jews don't have to wait. The prophets of the Bible don't have to wait till January to click off whatever is going to be fulfilled in the coming year. So, Psalm 110 is the most quoted psalm in the New Testament. Oh yeah, this is an Old Testament psalm, Psalm 110, but it's quoted in the New Testament and alluded to several times in the New Testament. But wouldn't it be wonderful if it came to pass? I don't expect it to come to pass in all of its entirety this year, because this is a psalm of the second coming. And we have to look 7 years down the road at a minimum. So I cannot tell you that it will be fulfilled this year, but there's got to be parts of it. There's got to be parts of it that will be fulfilled before the second coming of Christ. In other words, logistically speaking, the armies have to stage their troops. The Lord has to wait until the right moment. And so as we read through this psalm, you will understand that it can't happen just like that. But the Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. And by the way, from the days Jesus went back to heaven in Acts chapter 1, until this day, he has been sitting at the right hand of God, awaiting the day when he will return. Sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, in the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning. I want to stop there for just a moment to discuss a few of these things. First of all, Jesus is sitting at the right hand of the Father on high until that day when God makes his enemies his footstool. And at that time, the Lord will send out the rod of his strength out of Zion. So all of Armageddon, the tribulation period, the final battle, everything will center around Zion, or Jerusalem, the Temple Mount. Rule thou, he says, in the midst of thine enemies. That's exactly what Jesus is going to do when he comes in power and great glory. Thy people, that is Israel, shall be willing in the day of thy power. You ask a Jew today, is Jesus your Messiah? Oh, no, I'm offended, But in that day, they're going to be begging Jesus to come and save them. And yes, they will be willing to accept Jesus Christ as their Messiah when that day comes, in the day of his power. In the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning. Well, the beauties of holiness, I think, refer to the 19th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, the Kof, which refers to this time of holiness and the time when the Lord returns from heaven. From the womb of the morning. Now, this womb of the morning represents daybreak, when the sun comes up over the eastern horizon. And I know that we have generally sung songs like Some Golden Daybreak, Jesus Will Come. Some golden daybreak, battles all won. Then shall the victory break through the blue. Some golden daybreak for me and for you. Well, this womb of the morning, I think, could refer to the dawning of the 7th millennium, because we are there. Even though we're in the year 2009, moving quickly toward 2010, and the Jewish calendar year 5770, we still have this daybreak concept. We are in the daybreak. This millennium is going to be 1,000 years long, this 7th millennium of human history. We're only in the opening years of it, so we're still in the daybreak years, the breaking forth of the sun out of the womb of the morning. Thou hast the dew of thy youth. Think about it. 2,000 years ago,